All right. This is 6th District Congressman Greg Pence, good enough to break away from the routine of the work of our district. And let's start with schools. That's a hot-button topic. And well, tell us what you feel about it.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. You know, I always like to say, and I went to the floor House of Representatives last week, and I spoke about this. I don't like to have an opinion about things. I like to get the facts, and I like to represent the people of the Indiana 6th District. And here's what folks have told me. They want their kids to go back to school. They want it done safely. In some cases, you know, maybe a blend of in class and online, if you will, Zooming it in. But law enforcement, Steve, has told me that the number of abuses and drug use in young kids has gone way up. And they told me directly to my face. This isn't hearsay. And I've had mothers and grandmothers and grandfathers and fathers say to me, my child has to go back to school. They're withdrawing into themselves. They need socialization. And I've heard more from parents and grandparents about their kids going back to school safely and that we needed to do that I've come to the conclusion that, you know, that's what we need to do. Not to mention that parents also that have been called back to work, they don't want to have to stay home or work around this or incur the additional cost of child care while they go back to work and choose to go back to work, want to go back to work, and you can't leave a second grader or third grader at home alone all day long. Let me give you one last thing.
Okay.
As I was out in D.C. for the last 2 weeks, it was widely shared that somewhere between 25 and 30% of the kids from March to the end of the school year did not participate at all or fell off the grid and didn't attend the online school at all. And that's a sad number. There were some folks, some of my peers said, no, it was 50% in my district.
Wow.
So we got to get these kids. We can't not educate them. We can't let them emotionally be scarred, and we can't leave the parents in a financial problem.
And so Congressman, I was just going to say, Congressman, you said the word safely about 10 times within what you were explaining there. So everybody, I think, has to understand that we don't just want to throw these kids back into school. The safely word is always built into this. The CDC said on Friday specifically that from a mental health standpoint and also from a nutritional standpoint, strangely enough, a lot of kids don't get square meals at home if they're low-income families, etc., and schools are a way to take care of that need as well.
Yes, sir.
The other hot button that's floating around is this whole stimulus package, whatever might happen next, and the $600 per week federal part of that went away at the end of Friday or Saturday, I think. Do you have any inkling as to what might happen next, Congressman?
Well, we were supposed to go on summer recess as of Friday, which means August they close, and then we come back second week of September. We were notified Friday evening that we are on standby and will receive a 24-hour notice that we will be called back, and we will not be in recess until we come up with a supplemental program. Now, do I have any insight? Let me first address the $600 supplement for unemployment. Steve, you and I have talked about this before. You know, the businesses in Indiana, they're coming back strong, but their employees weren't coming back. Some of their employees were getting $600 additional supplement and were not returning to work when they had been furloughed. And when you're furloughed and you're called back, you should be dropping off unemployment because the systems aren't in place to track that. folks were not coming back. So everywhere, to include at the chamber luncheon that we attended there in Muncie, Delaware County Chamber, all the businesses were telling stories about, we need to get people, we need to stop this $600. Now, do we need to have something in place? I'm open to listen. I'll consider anything for those people that aren't called back. A better idea was no more than a percentage of what they were earning before, not more than they were earning before. $600 supplement in the state of Indiana can put you at $22 an hour when you get that over and above your existing unemployment. And that isn't a grocery store or a convenience store or a fast food store pay, and those aren't career jobs. Those are usually entry-level jobs. So that I think is a non-starter. That's one of the big holdups right now in the Senate. I tell you, I am for a Main Street supplement or support to continue to help opening up the economy. Although I think not everyone should have gotten the $1,200 stimulus, Steve. I think getting that back into the hands of people that are still suffering, repeating that, isn't a bad idea. I'm all for helping people that their jobs haven't come back, or they've lost their businesses, or their businesses are only operating at 50%. So Main Street focus, that's what I know the Senate is trying to get done.
Congressman Pence is our guest here, who recently supported President Trump's authority to protect America from foreign viruses. Tell us about that, sir.
So that's, thanks, Steve, that's called the No Ban Act. So the House of Representatives and the Democrats actually passed a bill that said that the president can't ban people from coming into this country. Now, remember, he did that when he banned China and the COVID-19 disease from coming into the United States. So I didn't even understand why we were even dealing with that. The Senate won't pick it up, so that's a non-starter. We also passed Access Council Act, which I voted against, which means anyone that comes in illegally to the border and is detained because they are illegal, they would be provided with an attorney at no cost to them. That was 11 million people in 2019.
Wow. That's a lot of people. Congressman Greg Pence is our guest. One of the other things that you feel strongly about, and I see you voted against, H.R. 7573, removing statues from the Capitol.
Yeah, Steve, this cancel culture that we're dealing with today, let's cancel police funding. Let's cancel what states and cities and governments, what the different 50 states can do. One of them, this was an example of that. In the House of Representatives, in the Capitol building, there are 2 statues from every state, and every state chooses who was somebody they want to be remembered and put up as an example of whether they helped found the state or for whatever reason. And here the federal government was going to tell them what statues they couldn't put. Now, the argument on the other side was, well, they did things that were inappropriate. Steve, let me go on record for all your listeners. I'm a Christian. I believe in Jesus Christ, and I'm also a completely imperfect human being. And if all we're going to do is focus on the mistakes or the things people have done wrong in our society and not look at the overall good and the overall value of that person, then this cancel culture is going to take control. All across the country, people were tearing down Christopher Columbus statues. I guess I live in Columbus, Indiana. I guess we're going to have to change Columbus, Indiana, because Christopher Columbus did something people thought was wrong.
Congressman Pence, I wish we had more time with you. I enjoy our conversations. Keep up the good work, safe travels, and please remain healthy, sir.
All right. We're home for 5 weeks. Hope to see you, Steve.
All right. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.